Good morning, students. Today we will start chapter 5. Does it look the same? And our topic is symmetry. Learning outcomes are: you can define symmetry and the line of symmetry. You can identify and create symmetric and asymmetric shapes. And you can find rotational symmetry after half turn. There are some shapes which, when folded from the middle, divide themselves into two equal parts, and each part covers the other one completely. So such parts are called mirror halves. Here is a picture. If it is folded from the middle, then its both parts are exactly the same. This is one more. This can be folded in the middle and its both parts are exactly the same, identical halves. Now this is a picture. If it is folded in the middle, these two parts look exactly the same. So these are mirror halves. So the images which can be divided into identical halves are called symmetrical shapes, and the images that cannot be divided into identical halves are called asymmetrical. The line of symmetry is the axis or imaginary line that passes through the center of the shape or object and divides it into identical halves. So in this shape, this middle line is the line of symmetry. Now in first shape, the middle line divides this shape into two equal parts. So we say that this is a symmetric shape. In the second one, this middle line does not divide the shape into two equal parts because these both parts are different, so we call it as asymmetric shape. Identify these pictures as symmetric or asymmetric. Let's look at the first one. This is line of symmetry and we can see that both the sides are exactly the same. So this is a symmetric shape. Let's draw our line on the second one. Now here we see that these both parts, they are not same. They look different. So we'll call tree as asymmetric. In ladybug, both sides are exactly the same. So it is symmetric. For camel, if we draw a line in the middle, then its both parts are not exactly the same. So we say this is asymmetric. Look at these patterns. The dotted lines divides the shape into two halves, but if you fold it along the dotted line, the left half does not cover the right half completely. So the two halves are not mirror halves. Lines of symmetry. Now we can see that in some figures there is one line of symmetry, like in this triangle, it has one line of symmetry, and some have more lines of symmetry. In rhombus, we see that there are 4 lines of symmetry because it can be folded in 4 ways. In regular pentagon, we see 5 lines of symmetry because it can be folded in 5 ways, and in each case, one part covers the other side completely. In square, there are 4 lines of symmetry because it can be folded horizontally as well as vertically and also diagonally, and in each case one half covers the other one completely. We see symmetry in art form also, where you can see lines of symmetry. Which shapes are divided into two mirror halves by the dotted line? Let us look at these one by one. In first one, here we see that the dotted line divides the shape into two parts. These parts are equal in shape, but they are different in color. Like here you can see pink design, but on the opposite side there is white design. So this shape is not symmetric. In the second one, the both parts are not equal, so this is also not symmetric. In third one, the size of one part is bigger than the size of other part, so this is also not symmetric. Number 4, we see that the design is exactly the same, but coloring is different. So this is also not symmetric. In number 5, the line divides the shape into two equal parts. So this is a symmetrical shape. In number 6, the butterfly has two equal halves. So this is a symmetrical shape. Mirror games. Here is a picture of a dog. You can place a mirror on the dotted line. Then the part of dog to the right of the line will be hidden behind the mirror. What you will see is like A. Now, this is a picture. If you keep mirror on the dotted line, you will see a design like this. So these are two mirror halves. You can play this game. You can take some pictures and put mirror exactly in the middle and see what kind of design you find there. Half a turn. Once there was a king. He was upset because thieves kept stealing costly jewels from his locker. Here is what the locker looked like. So this is king's locker where he used to put his costly items. The locker could be opened by giving its handle half a turn, another half turn, and the locker would be locked again. The king would often leave the locker open, thinking it was locked. Can you guess the reason? Now this is king's locker. It looks like this when it is open. After half turn, it looks like this and it is locked. But can you see both the pictures? They look exactly the same. So that is the reason king was confused. So one day his clever daughter gave him an idea which he liked very much. Now he never got confused. Can you guess what the idea was? The king's daughter asked the king to put a dot on one of the yellow plates. So now when the locker is open, the dot is up, and when the locker is closed after half turn, the dot is down. So the king would understand when his locker is open and when his locker is closed. So children, we can break the symmetry by adding some design to one side of it. Guess which of these shapes below would look the same after half a turn. Half a turn is when you put something upside down. Like here, this girl is standing straight, but if we give her a half turn, she will look like upside down. Like her hands will be down and feet will be up. So similarly, when we give half turn to these shapes, let us see which of these will look the same. These figures which I have ticked, they look the same after half turn. But the triangle and the pentagon, let us try how they will look after half turn. So this is triangle. If we give it a half turn, this will look upside down. So this looks different. Similarly, for pentagon, if I give it a spin, it will look like this, upside down. So triangle and the pentagon do not look same after half turn. Other shapes look the same. Practice time. Find out which letters in the English alphabet look the same after half a turn. Let us take some examples. Like this is A. If we give it half a turn, it will look like this, upside down. Let's look at B. If we give it half a turn, this will look like this. So, original B and B after half turn are not the same. Now let us look at H. When we give it half a turn, this again looks like H. That means H will look same after half turn. Similarly, you can try with other letters, write them down on your paper and then turn the paper upside down and see which letters look exactly the same after half a turn. Which of these English words reads the same on half a turn? So these are some English words. Let us take them one by one. First one is zoom. If we give it half a turn, it will look like this. So zoom and the new word is not same. Second word is MOW, mo. So after half a turn, it is still MOW, mo. It means the second word is same even after half a turn. Let us look at the third one, swims, and give it a half a turn. This also looks the same. So similarly, you can try the other remaining words. Give half a turn to the numbers from 0 to 9. Find which of them still looks the same. Let us take 0 and give it half a turn. It still looks like a 0. Next is 1. If you write 1 in this way and give it half a turn, this looks different. But if you write 1 like this and then give it a half turn, then it looks like 1. Next, let's try with 2 and give it half a turn. 2 also looks different. So similarly, you can try with all the letters from 0 to 9 and then find which of them look the same. Think of all 2, 3 and 4 digit numbers which look the same on half a turn. For example, 2 digit numbers can be 11, 1, 1, 11. Similarly, find some other numbers which will look the same. Then here is example of 3 digit number 101, 111. So find some more number which will look same after half turn. Let's recap. A shape is symmetrical when it has two identical halves. We can break symmetry in a figure by drawing some pattern on one side. And some shapes are symmetrical after half turn. Thank you.